Hey guys, what's going on? So I have an album review for DECAY's Infesting the EXHUMED. So if you don't know DECAY, they're a pretty underrated old school brutal death metal band. They came out of North Carolina, late 90s, early 2000s. This is their first album that came out in 2000, I believe. It also has their first demo, some bonus tracks that came out in 99. But I'll mainly be talking about the album. Not as huge a fan of the demos, the album personally. I'll talk about. But anyways, it's just put out through Comatose Music. I believe DECAY owns that label, and they're like a brutal death metal sort of label. Of course, if you're into the genre, you've probably heard the name around somewhere. But really grindy shit, just super fucking nasty, really just perverted, disgusting. If you're a fan of like the late 90s bands, like the really fucking wild ones, like Lividity, Regurgitation, Waco Jesus, you'll dig this because it's in that same sort of ballpark of the really fucking perverted, grindy sort of brutal death metal. But it's still got a lot of chugs and like kind of slammy riffs here and there. I'd say they're a little more beatdowny than like slammy, but you know what I mean. Like there's a lot of palm muted stuff as well, but it's still really technical. Anyways, I guess we'll show like the album cover and shit. It's a pretty cool album cover. I know it's sort of a generic like dead naked chick thing, but I just like gory album covers with like characters on them. I just think it's cool. They got a really sick logo. This is a second press. I believe this reissue came out in 2014. There's the spine, and there's the back. Sorry, the track listing. We've got festering anal vomit, head in a crock pot, engorging the vaginal cavity, erased from existence, draped in white, blood art, absence of light, stricken with disease, mutilation tool, and infesting the EXHUMED. And you have the Rest in Hell demo, which, oh no, that also came out in 2000, alright. Which has pure hate, mind kill, holy lies, insane anger, and unearthed. There's the disc, pretty cool. I believe there's like the album cover for their demo behind it. Very like Scooby-Doo looking. Picture of the band right here. They, I thought like half the band looks like fucking G.I. Joe figures. It's funny. But, this is just some really sick shit. Lyrics and stuff. There's a tub girl behind all that. This video won't get taken down for that because you can barely see it, but I know on the original press of the CD, like in the tray, there's a picture of tub girl. And there's fucking, I think there's just a picture of the band and like another band photo from like the demo. It looks like thank yous and shit. But anyways, I'd say the most notable thing that this band has is their drums. Forget the drummer's name from this band, but holy shit. If you like drum fills, this is the album for you. The drums on here are so fucking snappy and fast and pummeling. And he honestly plays circles around the rest of the band. They're all competent musicians and they all play some killer, groovy, sometimes pretty technical riffs. But the drummer, like, there's parts where they'll just be playing like a basic chug and he'll just be playing circles around them. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, amazing drums. The vocals on here are my second favorite part of it. It's just super ferocious, fucking energetic, kind of grindy sounding highs. And the lows are really like, imagine a mixture of like Maddie Way and Jamie Bailey, like that sort of low, like really gross sounding vocal style, but a little, it's a little snappier. It's not as like, the vocals aren't as long and drawn out. Like the vocal patterns are a little choppier. They're not like orgasm or dying fetus levels of choppy, but they don't like hold super long notes a lot. But yeah, I mean the guitar and bass tone are just fantastic. The bass isn't super audible on here, but the guitars definitely are, and just scooped, really chunky. I love the production on this album. It's just mixed really well and it sounds really good. It's not overproduced or anything. It's not the rawest thing to come out from this era of brutal death metal, but it sounds like it just sounds really good. It's mixed very well. But the style of these guys play, it's really blasty and grindy. It's not like a disgorge, like technical sort of thing, but it's more like, imagine like a super technical, not super technical, but imagine like a technical version of Lividity, like that really grindy sort of death metal. A lot of tremolo pick riffs and then chugs. really simple sort of songwriting, but with a lot of drum fills and just slightly more technical riffs. I'd say the two best songs on here are Head in a Crockpot, that's my favorite, and Mutilation Tool. Just super fucking groovy shit, so catchy. There's a lot of really nasty fucking perverted samples on here that are really damn offensive, so if you're really easily offended, this is obviously not the album for you. I mean, if you've already seen this cover, you know what you're in for. But if you're already into like late 90s, early 2000s brutal death metal, then this is nothing new. Like I said, you know, if you're into like, it's not quite as like overtly misogynistic as like Lividity or something. It's not quite as like try-hard levels of offensiveness as that. But I mean, these guys will still piss like your mom off or something, you know. But yeah, this is just some really fucking gory, sick shit. The drums are my favorite part of the album because they're so snappy, and they just make it feel a lot more interesting. I feel like if there was a more simple sort of drum performance on here, the songs would just feel very dry. Because not every song on here is super memorable, but because the musicianship is so good and it just sounds so cool, it's just super, like, it just sounds fucking badass. When you throw it on, you want to, like, dance in some parts. It's wild. Like, Head in a Crockpot just has a super fucking catchy groove around the middle of it. And yeah, the vocal patterns are just super catchy on here. The first song, Festering Anal Vomit, is fucking filthy, just super groovy and catchy. These guys have a perfect balance of like groove and then also the really fast, technical sort of brutal shit. I'd say it's a little unique. They're not like super weird or experimental or anything, but I can't think of anyone who sounds a lot like these guys. Like you could tell this is like some late 90s, early 2000s brutal death metal, but it's not like, this isn't just something you listen to once and then never want to listen to it again. Like, it's genuinely memorable, good songwriting, you know, great musicianship, and really memorable vocals. I think the highs on this band are just really sharp sounding, really fucking, like, aggressive lows, they're really just, like, scary sounding almost, and I don't know, I can't think of anything bad to say about this album. There's a good bit of songs in here that are a little less memorable. Yeah, it's because maybe it's not because I'm not super familiarized with all the songs on this album, but the first two songs and Mutilation Tool are the tracks that'll stick out to you the most, honestly. But there's not many bad songs on here, though. Now onto the demo. I'm not as huge on the demo. It's got some really weird, fuzzy sounding production, and I don't like the vocals as much. The highs are pretty much the same as on the album, but the lows are like some really weak, like grindcore sounding vocals, kind of crust punky, maybe like some like Swedish old school death metal type of lows that I just don't want to hear from a brutal death metal release, and they're not really that good sounding either. They sound very amateurish, but I don't know if it's the same vocalist or not, but he sounds so much better on the full length in my opinion. Honestly, I think I would give this like an 8 out of 10. Maybe not every song on here is super memorable, but they make up for it with catchiness and fucking just like technicality. But it's not technical in like a progressive, weird time signature sort of way. It's just, there's so many drum fills and they sound so like cool, and you'll notice something new each time you listen to it. But yeah, pretty overlooked band in my opinion. I think these guys should be as big as like, well, these bands aren't huge, but I think these guys should be as well known as like Regurgitation and Lividity and stuff like that. If you're into that sort of style of brutal death metal, like I said, because these guys don't sound a lot like the New York stuff, although their groove kind of leans in that more hardcore sort of direction, and these guys don't sound like Disgorge or Deeds of Flesh, really. They're not as suffocation-y, but yeah, this is just some killer shit. Can't think of much else to say. If you want some just really punishing brutal death metal, that's a little more on the unique side, not like super out there, but these guys have their own sound. I would recommend Infesting the Exhumed by Lust of Decay. But yeah, and it's pretty easy to get on CD. I know this reissue is easy to get, and even the older presses, like the OG press, is pretty cheap as well. But yeah, Lust of Decay, Infesting the Exhumed. I think I'll give it an 8 out of 10. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye.